Alright guys, let's cover the last topic in customizing Lightroom, which is setting up our watermarks. Okay, now watermarks are hugely important regardless of if you are a professional or amateur photographer. Watermark each one of your photos that you are posting online. If you guys haven't seen the video that we linked on stolen screen done by f-stoppers, go watch that. I'll even link it again at the bottom of this video. It's crazy. A lot of bad things can happen by not making sure that your images are stamped. People can use them inappropriately, steal them, use them for commercial purposes, etc. So save yourself the hassle and just stamp them. And we're going to teach you how. So we're going to go to Edit, and we're going to go to Edit Watermarks. And there's two types of watermarks that we're going to learn how to do. One is a text-based watermark, one is a graphical watermark. So let's start with a text-based watermark. I'm going to edit my text by clicking right here, and it's going to say copyright. Well, this is a Lynn and Jersa photography image, so we'll just say Lynn and Jersa photography, and you can add the year if you want, 2011. Okay, now I'm going to go through and kind of adjust my text options, so I can set my font to be whatever I want. I'm just going to set it to Arial, set the style, maybe I want it to be bold, I want it to be centered. You guys can kind of guess what this, I mean, all this stuff is pretty self-explanatory, the color of it. You can actually set a shadow, like the drop shadow on it. So if I want a little drop shadow, you can see I can control the offset, which is the placement of it, how strong it is, which is the opacity, the radius, how far this shadow drops off of the text. So the larger the radius, the larger the shadow is going to be, and the angle of the shadow. Okay, so whatever, you can either choose to have a drop shadow or not. We're just customizing graphical preferences here. And you can choose the opacity of the effect. So maybe you don't want it to be so obvious and in your face, you just tone down the opacity so it's more transparent. Now this size thing, whether it's proportional or whether it's fitting, is going to basically mean if you are rendering images out at a different size, a different resolution, then proportional means it's going to be this size in proportion to every single image that it gets exported with. If you're fitting it, it's going to fit it to the bottom side, just basically from left to right. If you're filling it, it's going to fill it based on based on all the options that you choose for your text size and everything. Okay, so maybe I want to fit it. I'm going to have it so it's constantly this bottom of the image. It's going to be like that. This is a pretty in-your-face watermark, by the way. So the inset is basically like you're tabbing, like how far you want it to be inset from the edge. You can also set a vertical inset. This is all great stuff for, you know, kind of creating a watermark that works for every single image, so that you don't have to kind of create different sizes of watermarks for different sizes of exports. And then your anchor point, and your anchor point is just going to basically be, it's going to set that text based on a certain anchor point on the image. If I select center, it's going to drop in the center, top, bottom. It would normally anchor left, but I've selected centered up here. So if I hit, you know, if it's left, it's going to anchor left. I've also selected this vertical or horizontal inset, so if I remove that, you'll see it. I'll actually set it to 0. And it's also set to fit right now, so you don't necessarily see that it's, there we go. Now you can see it's anchored left. If I anchor it right, middle right, top right, so now you can see where it's anchoring. So I'm going to anchor at the bottom, kind of leave it not so much in your face. And we'll call this good. This is our basic text graphic, our basic text watermark, sorry. And then I'm going to save that. And I'm going to save the current setting as a new preset. It's going to be the LJP text watermark. Okay? So that's that watermark. So that's how you create a text watermark. Let's move on to how you create a graphical watermark.